A Binghamton property owner who feels terrorized by the blight and neglect around him is calling for procedural changes in how the city goes after negligent slumlords. Steve Menz runs a business around the corner from 2 Fayette Street, where a large pile of garbage has been laying in the driveway for over 3 weeks. Each day he contacts the city code department seeking relief, yet the refuse remains. Menz says the ongoing problem is emblematic of the deficiencies in how code is enforced. If a landlord receives a violation summons and does not rectify the situation, there is a mechanism for the city to come in and clean it up and bill the property owner, but the process can take months. Menz says in the meantime, the neighborhood has to endure a visual and sanitary assault.
We should be doing it so that it gets done in 24 hours, not 3 weeks. Why should our neighborhood have to live with this for 3 weeks? If this property were next door to City Hall, if it was on Riverside Drive, if it was on Beethoven next to Rec Park, that would not exist. It would be gone.
Richard Knowles Jr. has lived at 2 Fayette Street for about a year. He says Monaco purchased the apartment building earlier this year and allowed it to fall into disrepair. His front door lacks a doorknob, electrical outlets don't work, and the roof is leaking. Knowles says he can't bring his kids over to visit.
It's mold. Like, when I say mold, it's mold. I had to call off for work. I'm calling down to the office. They not cooperating. Everybody got an attitude. It's roofs is caving in. Like, it's crazy in there.
City Councilwoman Aviva Friedman says code complaints are the #1 thing she hears from her constituents. Friedman says she believes the city's code enforcement officers are doing the best they can with limited resources. She thinks they need more personnel so that they can act more proactively than reactively.
I think we have to think creatively instead of just saying, okay, well, we're doing the best with what we can. Let's think creatively to reinvent this process to help prevent problems in the future, which will benefit everybody.
Friedman suggests researching a law in Minneapolis that routinely inspects rental properties regularly, classifies them in tiers, and then makes them subject to higher or lower fines and more or less frequent inspections based on their ranking. Menz is pushing for a system in which after a first violation notice, slumlords would no longer receive notices. Instead, the city would hire contractors to immediately clean up garbage, mow tall grass, or shovel sidewalks, and add that cost to the property tax bill. Menz says that after nearly a year of ignoring his suggestions, city officials finally got back to him to say the system is fine the way it is. A message left at Monaco was not returned. A city spokesman says a DPW crew had been dispatched to clean the mess, but a vehicle was blocking their access. The city says that it has to issue property owners a violation notice and give them 24 hours to fix the problem in order to give them due process as required by state law. Otherwise, the city could not legally charge the property owner for the cleanup.